Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Namaskar. This is Engineer Suraj Singh speaking from Bharat, India on this day, October 10th, 2021, Sunday. Quality talk continues, safety talk continues. Concerns of everyone should be. Title being Civil Field Engineering. In fact, it is Field Engineering. Life Engineers. Quality AnnexSL. SHE Designs Construction. Big question. Why all time being quality? Certain certificate, certain another certificate, certain certificate, certain certificate, certain certificate, but requirement. This is requirement. Having certification is a great achievement, but that is not final achievement. Final destiny should be that is shown. Products with quality and complete safety, health and environment. Environment is a question, health is a question, safety is a question, and quality is a requirement. No quality means nothing. We have to be very serious. No quality means nothing, and we have to understand this point all time. If we can't understand this point, we can't understand life, we can't understand engineering, and engineering cannot help us, we cannot help ourselves. Quality is my concern, quality must be everybody's concern. If it is not respected, I think I cannot respect my work, and you too. Respect to work is done when work is done qualitatively. We have to concern, we have to think about every product as health, as my body. Just like I care for my body, I should be healthy all time. I should have a smooth and good mind, sound mind. I should have fit physique all time, and I should do everything good for me. Nobody thinks to good for oneself. Everybody thinks whatever is done should result in good for that person. Why not to think same for whatever work we do? After all, we are born for work. There is no other purpose except work. Whatever work we do in our lifetime, from morning till evening, or during our working time, during our non-working time, during sleep we do not know what happens, but we should have sound sleep, we understand. Disturbing sleep is also not good for health. Unsound mind is also not good for health. You know, when somebody does not have unsound mind, what people think? What do they think? They think this person is dangerous, this person has psychological problem, or this person can damage us. Beware of this person. We call that or no? Somebody calls that person mad, somebody calls this person violent, because of unbalanced status of mind. You apply same you can say resemblance to product when you don't produce quality product. It is, you can say, product produced by a psychological person or a defective mechanism, and that product can damage us any time. Whatever time it can damage us, should we accept that damage? If we recognize that damage, then I think there is no sense in I cannot recognize that damage. I would feel why this damage has come to me. I paid money to this product for this product, and this has come to me as a defective product. That's why I say we have to be very serious and respect these certificates, or else what is meaning of these certificates? Nothing I can say. Quality, every day I talk, it's a requirement, it's a must, it's engineering is life, medical is super, engineering is super, quality is important, this and that we talk. Like a parrot I talk, I say. It may be manufacturing, it may be industry, you have to consider ergonomics, you have to consider no way out, there is no way out, nothing else, safety is a must, and you can say quality is a must and safety is required. Quality must be there, no safety, no pain. And we say no safety, no pain, and no, we say all that. Quality has to be complied with and defined, specified, and all that. But what's all that? Engineers, millions engineers around the world, thousands of scientists around the world, thousands of mathematicians around the world. I think maximum lot of intellectuals, and particularly engineers who are root of society. It's their job in engineering, and of course it's their responsibility to modify society. They have to realize fact, and civil engineers must be leaders as far as development is concerned, and they have to take care of immense materials used in construction, unlimited material used in construction, and have to take care of that during designs and construction. It's very important, and that should be done through each and every activity through method statements which you have to devise. Time is important, cost is important, risks are important to be resolved, and reliability is very important. Analysis and thinking and construction and synthesis, and we can say certain powers to achieve everything is a must, and we must, and that is engineering. We can say engineering is that, design and prosecution of works. Application must be a factor. The engineering is that, and quality non-conformance product is called substandard and therefore rejected, which we have to accept in our way, its own way. So what do we say? Do we understand systems? That's my point of view. I refer always to systems, and systems means collection of every resource. System means focus to be created at one point where all resources come together in concentration form and converge there to lead to a product by affecting that. That is what quality system is. But is it really working? That's my point. Maybe system thinks, or system designer thinks it's working. Quality system is working, they say. Yes, it is working on papers. It is working in mind. Should it work on product, or it should not work on product? Tell me, what is purpose of quality system? What is purpose of quality organization? Purpose is to deliver something real, quality based. If you cannot deliver that, that system is useless. If a railway track cannot work, if it is broken, train shall certainly derail. If road is not good, car shall certainly not drive smoothly on that. It shall not fly. Same thing happens to life. If our road is not clear, where we have to go is not clear, through what means we have to go is not clear, then the only way left is to walk. If I can't use cycle, I can't use car, I can't use bike, then I have to walk. I think that is elementary mechanism for movement, that you have to walk. And if you are not healthy, you cannot walk. That's what I say. It is very important point we have to understand. Our clause 3 was the terms and definitions, and clause 4 is context of organization. Then we went to leadership. What was leadership there in clause 5 in this? Clause 5 was leadership, and then we went to planning. That is leadership, and then we went to planning there, which both are important from every viewpoint, and that was planning which we are doing, and planning we think it's very important point. Charter we discussed in this, all risks we discussed, every point we discussed in this, and we have to continue on this just for purpose of explanation, because explanation and writings are always different. I want to focus on this very important point. When we say system means system, every part of system. System is not one element. System doesn't constitute of two elements. System doesn't constitute of even three elements. All elements, all members in that system, there can be as many members as you think can be integrated, can be anatomized. Anatomy it is. Just like we have anatomy in our body, you can say framework of bones and nerves and everything. Same way in system, there is an anatomy, and that's called a structure of system. There is one institution, there's another institution, they define something in that structure. They can define only with a lot of experience or feedback. And of course they had. They devised something, they started something like, standardization bodies like International Standards Organization, like Sigma, like some other. So they did something to their experience availability. But how far is that successful, that we have to understand. Again and again I say this, again I don't feel bored, I don't feel monotonous on that. Maybe you people start boring, why every day is talking this, he talks that. It is to be talked every day, because every day you breathe for survival, you breathe for your life. Can you say I don't want to breathe today? You cannot say don't want to breathe today, because breath is also not in your control, it's natural control. You every day I should get up in the morning time and enjoy, I should feel fresh, and throughout the day I should be successful in my approach of working. You say that, that's okay, you should be successful whole day. But for that you must have some plan, you must have some focus, you must have some destiny, you must have some work, you must have something. Whatever you do, you must have something. You cannot blindly go, you cannot blindly do something. You must have some material, some resource, some thinking, some plan, some technology, something you should have. A kind of source of source consist to have, otherwise you cannot move. You have to understand that point. Life is that. Life cannot be defined, and life can be defined unlimitedly. Life is whatever is seen, and life is also whatever is not seen. Both are here. We see physical world, we see world through the eyes. We understand this world, we see this whole universe is working all time, never stops, and we are also a temporary part of universe, because we are infilled and extracted out. We are sent here and taken back. That's life. It's nothing wrong. It's a part of system. I am a part of system. Air is a part of system. Everything is a part of system, and physical system and non-physical system. Like you have a mind, it's a non-physical entity. Mind structure is physical, but mind application is not physical. It is related to something unknown. And that something unknown is to be understood. That we can say it is soul, it is soul power, it is spirit, it is something, thinking or whatever thinking. It cannot be seen. Just like we cannot see electrical energy, but we can use it through appliances. That's my appliance is my body. My appliance is my body. My thinking capacity cannot be seen by anybody. It can be understood, it can be felt. Yes, I'm thinking, I'm doing something. I use my mind, as you use your mind. Nobody can see your mind. You can say, yes, it is in the head. Mind resides in head, but can you see it? Can you feel it? You can't do. Yes, you can see some waves are there. Waves can be checked. That's important. Magnetic waves can be checked. But that is wave, what's flowing through those waves, important point of view. Same I say, system is system. It can be drawn, it can be indicated, it can be understood, it can be explained. But how to use it, what to use it, who has to use it in what way, that depends upon that person. That depends upon those group of persons. That depends upon those, you can say, community, or on organizations, or by companies. Whatever you say, that system must be excellent, it can be very good, it can be normal, or can be below normal. It depends upon those people. It is collection of people, it is collection of equipment, it is collection of resources, but how to use them depends on everybody. That's why I always stress human resources number one, because machines can be manufactured, humans cannot be manufactured. Machines can be designed, humans cannot be designed. Humans can be trained only, humans can be streamlined only. power of human can be increased by human only. Nobody can enhance spiritual power, or you can say soul power or intellectual power of one. It can be gradually increased. Everybody has mind, everybody has power, but training is required so that attitude of a person comes to defined track. That attitude is very important. We have to understand this point. I'm not explaining something extraordinary. It's ordinary life. I'm just trying to refresh that what life is. If I have to go to some point, from one point, I have to walk, I have to stand, I have to move, only then I can go. So this is effort you have to apply. You cannot imagine only I'm sitting here. I now imagine I'm sitting here, then I think I am sitting there, I imagine, but that is only hypothetical. That's a mirage that cannot be seen. It's like a horizon. You can see sky and earth are meeting, but they never meet. You go there, you won't find them. That's what we have to see. So we have to do something to get something. Energy transformation from one shape to another shape. Our mind energy, our body energy. This energy is very important, which we get from our body, which is generated within, and of course we have to take some food as fuel, and that's what life is. Life of myself, life of everyone, life of product. Now my concentration is, my focus is towards product life. Is that not important? My product, myself, I cannot take responsibility because I have to live only until I am withdrawn by that power, and it applies to everybody. You may call it death, you may call it whatever. It's a withdrawal from this earth, and again when we come, it's you can say a posting to earth. But during this period, what life I have to live, what should be my character, length of life is not in my hands. Duration of this contracts, you means a contract or no contract, but this deployment, you can say, God deployed me to this planet, that God knows how long I have to live. It applies to everybody as such. God is responsible for that. That power is responsible. I'm not naming any God. God means a symbol to explain power, superpower. So God told me or allotted me something which I may have forgotten. But fact remains, whatever you are doing in life, that is your destiny. Whatever you feel happy with, whatever you have to do, you indirectly you can say you have to make money. Indirectly, otherwise you can't live. Everybody has some ambition. I want to make money. I want to get this education. I want to become that professional. I want to become this and that. Everybody has some ambition. In childhood, what ambition we have, or after that, what ambition we have, or in our adulthood, what we have, in our further life, what we have. It varies and depends upon interest of everybody. It depends, and that interest is what Saul says, means that property has been put in you, which you are doing successfully. You have been successfully. Where you don't feel bored because you have some ambition. That's why if you don't have any ambition, so I don't need money, I don't need anything, I don't want any name, nothing. I just want to stand, eat, sleep, and then again stand, sleep, and like that. A routine life I want to live. Okay, go on living. Then what's the use of this? But focus is there. Their focus is those who don't want to do anything. I am a sadhu, I am a guru, though he does nothing. He adds nothing, but he calls himself, I am a leader of your knowledge. Guru means leader of knowledge. You are leader of knowledge, but you don't have any knowledge. That's the point here. You are a leader of development, but you are an engineer according to law, according to your education, according to this, but you are not doing engineering. That's the fact. You are an engineer by qualification, of education, by academics, by experience, but in fact you are not doing it because you are not taking interest in that. You think it's a means of earning. Yes, engineering is a means of earning, but to some extent, just like medical science is also a means of earning, to some extent, not to full extent. Same way, every profession is a means of earning, every occupation, every trade, every technology is a means of earning. But that earning is not only requirement. That earning is not only focus. We have to develop this world because nothing belongs to us. We have to use material given by earth, material given by that power. We use that material. We do those human resources. We use those machines. Those are manufactured out of those raw material. We have to consider this point. Quality is not a simple term. It's not simple term. It's a deliberative term. You can explain it to whatever extent. It was not explain it. Why to follow? Everything is quality. Even writing about quality is quality. Even talking about quality is a quality system. Talking about safety is also a quality system. Talking about doing work is also a quality system, if you say that way. Means quality or requirement or description of quality, what do you require? Or you can say your target, because quality varies, it's not constant. There may be 100 classes of quality in some unit, some system. Every system is different. There can be a system managed by 2 persons, organized by 2 persons, and there is a system organized 20 persons or by 100 persons. Every system shall be different in its structural formation, in its performing status, in its performing situation. That's what I am talking about, and we should, until we understand this, we cannot understand quality. Just understanding ISO 9001 is not enough. Understanding fundamentals are enough. ISO 9001 is a direction, is a guide, or you can say is indirect instruction, voluntary you have to follow. And if you don't follow, you are not regarded, you are not recognized. A concept has been created that you have to do according to this compliance, according to this requirement, so that we can measure you that you are having certain standards. That is a measurement of recognition, measurement of, you can say, your value is this. Means there are 4 students, they draw some drawing, they draw some picture. All 4 have different kind of pictures. The colors, you have to see line work, you have to see how many mistakes are made in line work, then you have to say finishing of lines, and then coloring of that. Everybody has different color. You can identify what is variation in their valuation system. Valuation here means credit, how much credit you give to some and to other and to other and to other. That's what we are talking about here, quality point of view. We have to standardize, just like system, we have to standardize our product, what product it is, what we expect from this product to perform. This product has to have some quality, and what level of that quality that can be specified, and it is specified. But even after specification, and that specification customer knows this is specification. If it performs to that for that duration, for this product has been produced, it's okay. Actually, you can say yes, this product normally complies with quality. But if that product complies more than that, we can say yes, it's super. It's not to its specifications, it performs better than what is specified, so it is acceptable. We can get some value. Oh, I require that product from that organization because that organization is very serious in its attempts. That is what everybody expects. It's serious, and they understand quality. They not only understand quality, they deliver it. But if some organization claims we have delivered to you this, but it doesn't work, what do you say? We say, oh, this is, misleading organization. They misrepresent about the specifications. They misrepresent about production. There is something wrong somewhere. They have same machines, they have same structure of company, they have same technology, they have the same system, but even then you don't get satisfaction. What does it mean? It means some defect may be in material, raw material, or there may be some defect in performance by people, by personnel, or there could be some other reason. Those reasons, on top I can say machines are manufactured, material is natural. There could be some defects in material, but those must be explained somewhere, how to normalize them, how to neutralize them, how to bring them to required properties, required parameters, and we do that. But individual is very important, because individual is a director, individual is MD, individual is chairman, individual is head of engineering, Individual is a worker, individual is a technician, individual is ordinary engineer, individual is a site engineer or floor engineer. Individual cannot be controlled by any machine, by any formula, but only by self-inducement or some other inducement. Though I don't believe in inducement, I believe in voluntary work, I believe in proaction. Proaction, if you don't have, you cannot move even a millimeter. If you lead on your own, you help yourself, you help your job, you help your organization, and also you teach them who expect some aspirations from you. Just to those people also come to your level or more than you. It doesn't make harm, it doesn't harm you. And that is what I say. Of course, there is some problem. If you lead yourself and others don't want to be led, they don't want to work, then there's a problem that they go against you, they oppose you. No problem, let them contravene you. What happens? First time, second time, a time comes when they also try to win over you, and that is what is required. I always believe in construction approach. You understand what I mean? Construction approach. Exactly. See, do not oppose anybody. That's okay. But watch everybody, guard on everybody, surveillance on everybody. But first you have to do on your own. Sometimes we say there is no one to have adjudication over yourself. Say, you are boss. But it doesn't mean that you can't be penalized. You are a boss, you have power, you have powerful position, and you can also make mistakes. Don't forget that, because you are a human being, and mistake is beauty of human. It's beauty, it's indication of performance. Error, we say human error. You human, maybe whatever. I make mistakes, I commit errors. That's part of life. Yes, repetition is not acceptable. Reiteration of that is acceptable for purpose of learning. I made this mistake. That's a part of learning. Of course, second time it should not happen. But when I say I am in top position, I know I made mistake, but who will ask me? Nobody shall ask me, because of various reasons. I am a big boss. They report to me, and they want have courage to speak facts. But remember, courage doesn't mean have some stone and thrown someone. Courage means speaking truth, speaking facts, because we work for what? For development. We work for what? For meeting requirement. We work for what? To do some good for this world. And our organization, our product is also a part of this world. So if I can't speak truth, either on job or in my life, I am a scared person. I can't speak truth. And truth is life. Truth is beauty of life. Truth cannot be defeated by false or by wrong. Right is always right. Correct is always correct. Fake is always fake. You can cheat someone. You can cheat once. You cannot cheat second time. If that person knows, that cheated person knows you cheated, that person shall not come to you. That person would avoid you. You shall lose your reputation, and that person won't support you. That is life. That is psychology of life. That is your quality, that you are afraid to speak truth. and that is that person's quality who cannot say I did wrong, it was my mistake. I consider that person great who says I made a mistake, I apologize, I have method to correct it and I would correct it, and next time I would not, I would say, I can say now that I will do greater, I do better than it has been done. There's an error because of what was prescribed could not be done. That is error. Otherwise, maybe it's not error in some other case. A boss should always accept truth, accept facts. If some, say my junior tells me you have made this, okay, fine, thank you for informing me. You have done a great job by bringing it to my notice that I have committed something wrong. Thank you very much. I will help myself and please keep a watch on me and tell me if I do it again. Same way, I am also going to tell you so that you are better in, you are better trained. That's what is going. No, it is very idealistic statement. It's very idealistic statement, ideal statement you can say, but it should work. Boss has a right, boss has a duty, boss has a responsibility to prosecute self. Prosecute yourself and then see what is meaning of judgment. It is easy to prosecute others, to penalize others, your juniors, but apply on yourself the I have punished myself, I could not do successful job, I could not perform successfully on this job description, then I take action against me, or I give up this job, I take some other job. If you cannot give it, then you clearly say, I have learned this lesson and I am moving forward with this updated knowledge. And it applies to everyone. Why I am saying it? It is because of engineers. Engineers have full range of responsibility. Full range means from 0 to 100, 100% responsibility. Even job description doesn't require that, but profession requires it. Engineers are parts, engineers are mechanism creators for every work. Engineers are mind related persons and engineers are supervision related persons. Every engineer is important for work and every work is important for engineer. Learning starts in field and it never ends. That's what I say always. Leadership does not mean only lead. Leadership means lead yourself first and see where problem lies in. Sometimes you have to make tea to make sure you can make it. Sometimes you have to take glass of water yourself. Sometimes you have to drive yourself, you can't be given a driver. Sometimes you have to do everything your way. It happens in engineering. You sometimes act as assistant, sometimes act as floor cleaner, sometimes you are tea boy. It happens because that is part of life. In our home also we do same function. There we don't designate ourselves, but in field we have degree of shame. Oh, why I am doing this? This is not a job. That is what I say. Leadership means every activity. Particularly in engineering, leadership has many roles. From time to time, from hour to hour, from activity to activity, roles vary. It doesn't mean you have to define every role. It becomes a part of practice. It becomes a part of performance, what we have to do. That is very significant point we have to understand. Engineering means to do, to think, to do, to find errors and to set them right. That is engineering. To use your mind to think something, how to do it, what to do it, and then to plan on it, what to do it, and then you have to check what errors we have caused, we have made mistakes, and mistakes never remain mistakes. These are mistakes only in comparison, and these are mistakes only until we set them right. And when we set them right, It's a part of learning. Second time, it won't happen if we keep mind open, if we are attentive. Leadership, that's what I say, is not easy. It is by virtue of their valuable experience. And we can say every risk and restraint should be studied. That's what we are saying. Every risk and restraint should be studied in details to sort out relevant adverse imposing factors, to work out, to eliminate those factors or to overcome them prior to risk starts entering into project life. And that's why I say leaders must be by virtue of their valuable experience, post-academic qualification, understand what risk would be encountered on such project and what are possible resolutions or solutions to remove this risk prior to this position. Is very important term which is related to experience, but successful experience, learning experience. We have to learn from experience. Experience is a teacher. It's a word, is a kind of open book that gives you information about your life. Your life is very critical or your life is not critical. Did you learn anything from that? How many mistakes did you make? What is percentage of those mistakes in comparison to percentage of what did you work successfully? And once such risks are evaluated, such mistakes are evaluated, you have to find solutions, how to eliminate those mistakes, how to eliminate those risks. If we can see them, if we can understand risk in advance, we can find solution. So that we don't have any obstacle on our way. And once, there can be risks all time on every project, in every approach. Risks can never end, like hazards can never end. Risks can never end. And we say risk control, risk understanding, risk fighting. We have to, it's not that fighting, I mean to say encountering, I can say, understanding, analyzing and finding solutions so that risk comes as a problem, but it is eliminated as a strength. If I can resolve risk, it becomes my strength, it becomes solution to project problems. We have to take that point in this way, in this spirit. Just like negative, we say don't be negative, but I say use negative. Do you understand my point? People say keep positive point, be positive, don't be negative. I say use negative and be positive. You got my point? And mathematics says negative and negative, if both are added together, result is negative. I mean to say sum of negative and negative is positive. If we say, if you multiply them, two negatives together, you will get positive answer. So why not to multiply all these problems which you get? Why to run away by saying, oh, this is negative, your approach is negative, you always question before doing something. Yes, it's my right. Only intelligent person, only analyst person can question. Analysis means you are a concerned man. You are not closed eyes or closed mind. If somebody says do it, you cannot just do it. You have to consider in your analysis, in conduct of analysis, what you are thinking. You do something. On this way can I move? How many obstacles can come to my... And all this you can know by experience only, not by books. Experience, then further experience, then further experience. Likewise, you become expert of that. And that is what expertise. Every project teaches us, every activity teaches us, every formula teaches us, every document teaches us. There is no limit. Even repetition teaches us. You know what happens? When we compose one page, say on MS Word or on Excel or wherever, we compose, oh, I have done it, you say. The same page, when you add it, review, you will find many changes, and that yourself will change. Oh, no, this is not correct phrase, I rephrase it. or this is not correct value I added in this cell, I change this value. That's what is revealed. That's what's added. It doesn't mean you did not know that time maybe you had some other contemplation in your mind, so you used this, you wrote like this, but now you are changing it because you thought no, this was not considered that time. That is what is learning. That is what is self-training. I call it self-training, which only work teaches us, which only we teach ourselves. I teach myself, you teach yourself. We say business. Business doesn't mean commerce. Business does not mean commerce alone. In business there is commerce, but business is also science, business is also engineering, business is also art, business is also profession. Where you are busy, it is business. If I am busy all day, it's my business. Maybe I am thinking whole time. Maybe I work out some problems. Maybe I do some calculation. Maybe I plan something. Maybe I do whatever it is. Mind works, which can't be measured in terms of inch and centimeters or square meters. That is immeasurable, but it has immense value. Business process based risks are considered and resolved by top leaders. Top leaders, I say, doesn't mean top position. Top leaders means who think at top. I don't mean if there is CEO of a company, he is the top leader. He is a top sitter, you can say, not a top leader. Top leaders are those who can solve problems, who can think at highest level, and then generate another higher level than highest level. While site-based risks are dealt with site workers, site people, site representatives, that is physical terminology, you can say top representatives of an organization and lowest representative of organizations. It's range, and they have certain responsibilities depending on each risk item. Evolving during works or prior to works commence with. Examples for certain risks could be, as mentioned, I explained before also. There were so many issues and there is no one issue. There can be issue on projects. Every project has different culture, different objective, different plan, and risks are also different. But certain risks which directly impact job. For example, you as a contractor, you have to start site. You can't take over site due to whatever reason. There can be legal complication. There can be some other complication. There can be physical, or you say somebody has to leave that site. That person doesn't vacate site. There are some difficulties from public viewpoint. There are some underground services running or overhead services running that require shifting before you start site. There may be some overhead electrical wires, overhead lines passing nearby that site, and that is not permissible according to law. Maybe your site location cannot be changed. In that case, either site location has to be changed, it's possible, or you have to shift that line, so that can cause impedance. Same way, underground services could be running gas line, electrical cable, or some other service that has to be shifted. So that kind of industry, you cannot start site. This means site cannot be handed over to you, or there can be some other problem. There can be underground strata problem, soil investigation that was not completed, coordinates were not clear. There's something, whatever obstruction comes in mind, legal obstruction, statutory obstruction, practical obstruction, whatever came to project, these were not known maybe at time, or we consider, okay, situation will be normal, don't worry. All these point play, not 1 point, no 2 point. Or you can say, before taking over, there were some unexpected events happened, which you did not anticipate. Or you can say, force majeure happened, or you can say some other which were not known, which was not normal situation at time of bidding it happened. There can be a long list of that, for which you have to write to client, you have to write to engineer, you have to write something, they have to respond. This goes on and on and on. And whatever you think, it's not possible sometimes. The soil is not supportive, soil is not responsive, foundations which you are given do not work. Likewise, there can be many other risk factors. There can be public outcry. There can be protest, political protest. There could be anything. And it's not only for our country, it applies. There can be many more issues, like items are included in contract, those items have been out of production, or it is very difficult even to propose another one with same specifications. Maybe specifications are not to mark, can be, or maybe we don't have reliable professionals. We are not getting human resources. This can also be there. When you can say there was a time in particularly when Middle East and Gulf countries were on peak in their development, human resources was a cause of concern. Human resources was a cause of concern and material was a cause of concern. You are ready for something, you are not finding reliable personnel. You don't find. These are not available. It's also though it's your personal issue, company issue, but this impacts on project. There will be pressure on you to get this person or such category of person. Your work strength is short, your personal strength is short. You have to procure, you have to recruit those people. And when you do, you don't find. It is a risk factor in that case because of pressure, demand. It was a time, a very heavy demand, all time worked in that field, and concrete was a problem in those days. Even if you were ready with all preparatory works on site, clearance is given that you pour this slab, but even after booking, you are not able to get concrete delivery from RMC, and you don't have your own batching plant. In that case, you had to wait for a couple of days, only then you couldn't get that, because you have to get mobile pump, you have to get transit mixers. Only then you can be delivered concrete, but these are short, not available. Means we have to be practical in that way. It is not only for you, it's for everybody, for your subcontractors, for your engineer, contract engineer, for owner. Everybody is affected, and we cannot exclusively say, contractor, this is responsibility. Engineer has to realize facts of market. Engineer should realize that in contractor is not exclusively independent to work. Contractor also depends on someone, just like engineer depends on contractor, owner depends on contractor, owner depends on engineer. This happens. Competency levels are not available. You don't find people with that required competency. These are various factors you have to consider. There can be a long list of such factors, but this depends on what sort of project it is. These administrative points actually I was talking about everybody's mind, which is a communication, coordination, very top profile, I can say. Design is one part, construction another part. The most important of everything in a profession is, and not only in civil engineering profession or engineering profession, it should be in every profession, it should be a part of life. These 2 points, communication is a medium, you can say. Communication like television channel news, newspapers, computers nowadays, internet and say your personal level, face-to-face, meetings, seminars, whatever you can say, conference, video conference. There is no one, no two, long list is there. This all come under the domain of communication. We have infrastructure, we have satellites. Now life is different. There was a time means there was nothing as such, and still that time communication was done. Now professional communication is something very different. It's not personal communication first of all. It has no personal target. Whatever we do, whoever does, engineer does, contractor does, owner does, third party does, it is in interest of project, it is in interest of future, It is in interest of consumer or end user because our goal is to deliver project with best performed quality. That should be goal. That should be target. Yes, profit part is one. Contractor must have profit. Then owner must have future profit based on operations. This happens. Profit is one part. It is the real part because without profit nobody shall work. So contractor is also bound to get some profit. If that contractor doesn't get profit, of course contractor shall leave that project, run away, or do whatever is supported, whatever is best for that one. But generally work is to be completed. Profit is second criteria because your mistake, you could not understand market, or prices are not in your control, and lump sum doesn't suit or something, whatever it is. Very, very important points these are. We have to give credit to this type of understanding that after all credit is required but not on profit directly. First requirement is you have to deliver job successfully. Your job is very complicated, it's not easy, remember. Particularly civil engineering jobs, or you can say plants engineering job, process engineering jobs. Those are not dominated by civil engineering, but they are also based on civil engineering, where cost of equipment, cost of vessels, cost of machines is immensely high, maybe 4, 5, 6 times of your construction cost. In plants it happens. Many vessels, you can say many equipment, very, very expensive. Expense of foundation is nothing in comparison to that value. And that machine requires a complete building, a complete steel building, a complete foundations, concrete foundations, complete piping, complete accessories, complete supporting equipment. And then machine comes to a state that it can work. Electric supply, powerful electric supply, technology, because that machine is a part of process, train, it's not independent. How does it perform compatibility to other machines? And that is called part of coordination, and communication is there. There are many, many contractors on same project, main contractors. There are many, you can say hundreds of subcontractors on a project, or 50 subcontractors on a project. You are a main contractor, for example, maybe you are EPC or construction contractor, let's say, forget EPC, talk of construction now, Red Book. You deal with so many subcontractors. You have to deal officially with the engineer or resident engineer. You have to deal contractually and administratively with the owner. These are requirements. You have to deal with third party, surveillance authority, third party people. You have to deal with statutory bodies or authorities. You have to deal with public also if it's required, if it's permissible. You have to deal with every vendor. You have to deal with every resource. All these are based on communications. It can be verbatim, it can be face-to-face meeting, it can be other meeting, it can be writing, it can be email, it can be video conference, it can be whatever. Mobile is very common, it's used. So communication is very important part in profession, and if you cannot communicate, I think you can't perform efficiently. And writing skills are very important in structure of communication, because writing requires lot of thinking. There are different levels of writing also: technical writing, normal writing, just certain letter writing, memos, or just certain instructions, or going through every drawing required specification, and then finding where are clashes, where are no clashes among various disciplines or in same disciplines. All this requires thorough studies, in-depth studies, and that becomes coordination based on your communicative skill. If you cannot analyze all this, you cannot communicate anything. You have to collect some information from whatever source you have, or whatever information you can get from whatever national, international, other sources of project details. we have to find what problem lies in, and then we have to find solution to that. You have to communicate to contractor, you have to communicate to subcontractor, engineer has to communicate to contractor, engineer has to communicate to owner, owner has to communicate to contractor, owner has to communicate to engineer. Communication is a big network. Of course, it's not done in one day, that's also true. Is some work is done in one day, 2 days, then next day, like this whole life cycle of currency of project. You can find a pile up of papers, a pile of mails, you can say. Lot of mails are in a server for solutions. You wrote to someone, you shoot it to someone answered to that. Likewise, the chain goes on and on and on, and we get something out of that. And that is where communication works. Communication cannot be taken on lowest profile, it should be taken on highest profile, because it is communication only who gives masses. If your message is not clear, this means you get some letter, some information, some instructions, and you are not clear about that. That is fault of that person who communicated to you, because that person could not clearly define what was to be done. When you instruct someone, you have to define, you have to explain what instruction is. And when you write also, same thing, you have to explain. And this should be clear, should be clearly understood by a person who receives your communication and whose communication you receive. It's called, I got 4 communique, I could not understand them, so I am requesting you to please explain more so that I can understand, or we can meet together somewhere and know what it is. In engineering, not only engineering, construction also, in designs, in execution, in planning, and whatever discipline of engineering, communication should be learned clearly. I'm not saying go to some class and learn. And this is not literally learning, this is not literature we are going to learn, this is not grammar or translation we are going, but we should have common types of sentences phrased well, and we can say yes, English language is also suited here, or some other language, and our content should be clear, because a project may move for a couple of years, and you cannot, maybe you are there at some time, there is dispute, there is some problem. Paper should speak, document should speak, because it's a question of time, and as well as a question of money, it's a question of your reputation. If you leave that job as an engineer and somebody comes there, and that person would say, what this guy has done in the past. Of course, everybody thinks that. But you must think problem with that person also, same problem maybe with you, maybe you are more capable to face that. So communication is very important part in engineering. Communication means administrative communication, contractual communication, technical communication, supervisory communication, or you can say meeting communication, interactive communication. Long list you can drive here for communication, and same is clubbed with coordination. We have to club that with coordination. And if we don't club that, we lose something that should not happen. Work is work, decision is decision, and decision is never automatic. It is to be made by getting collected information, not to have missed any information. Comprehensive decision, reasonable decision, logical decision is to be taken, and that is job of engineer, that is job of organizer, that is job of a contractor, that is job of owner. Whatever decision we take, it should support project. Wrong decision, bad decision will lead to you bad product. Good decision is a part of good organization, is a part of good quality understanding. You cannot simply say something which cannot be done. You cannot simply decide something which is impractical. That can cause a problem on site, so you have to understand that. That can cause a problem in procurement. That can cause problem everywhere. So problem must be solved. It must be solved. There can be various issues when you work on project as an engineer, because you have to use materials, in every activity. These materials can be for temporary activity, for preparatory activity, and for permanent activities. Different classes of materials are used. Some materials are required to be approved and some materials are trusted to be strong one. For example, safety is related to scaffolding system, to support of slab system, to various systems, and it is expected that all members in that support system, in that temporary work, shall be strong enough, shall be reasonably working. Life has not stopped, means these are very significant. Though approval is not taken in that form, approval is taken in method statement form. Materials support, and if we take off other materials which are required in preparatory works, for example, preparatory works for RCC, you have to use plywood or you have to use steel members, steel bodies, steel plates. You have to use supporting system like timber battens or timber scantlings or some other scantling, steel scantling, skin members. All give different levels of quality. Means we have to comprehensive approach. We have to save time also. Save in a sense. We have to preserve it. We have to keep in mind